Hey everyone, Alex here. Today's video is going to be a bit heavier. Whether you live in the Philippines or abroad, need to hear. We're going to talk about a shocking case out of Las Vegas, Nevada, involving a Filipino family. A brutal attack that police say happened just because they were speaking their own language. And a sentence that has left not only the victims, but the entire Asian American community asking, was justice really served? This story hits close to home for a lot of us, especially for me, being that I live in an Asian country, and I know just how friendly and amazing the Filipino people are. Or for those people that are living abroad or have family living in the US. Or if you're just a proud Filipino. We'll go through the facts, the reaction from the family, the court's reasoning, and I'll share my personal take on what this means for Filipinos around the world.
That's me shouting.
With tears in his eyes, Amadel, 75-year-old, listens and recounts the time his neighbor attacked him in his own home.
When it comes to the part that I was shouting, I turn it off right away. Because I don't want to hear it.
This security CCTV footage captures the moment that Christian Lent, 44 years old, approached Kindara in his own garage and allegedly threatened him.
Good job. Hi. How are you? You're done. You should get on your ventilator.
30 minutes later, Lent can be seen returning back to Kindara's home, and at that moment, Kindara knew that he was out to kill him.
Die. Oh my God. Die.
As Mr. Kindara recovers from his injuries, he recounts the time that couldn't be captured on camera.
Of all the punches that he was giving me, here, and then he lifted me up and slammed me to the ground, causing my head injury here. The only thing I could do is shout.
Lent was later arrested and charged with residential burglary, a charge that Mr. Kindara thought was way too light considering the damage that was done.
It hurts.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it hurts very much.
Maybe if we weren't Asian, maybe this would have been a different sentence.
Was justice really served? Is the question that many Filipino people in the Las Vegas area are wondering. And after 2 years of proceedings, Lance in handcuffs, but without any jail time handed to him. Instead, just 90 days on probation. It's an outrage.
You get probation, fine, all right. But 90 days? The outrage is immense at this point.
Kindara's son was outraged with the decision and expected something around 4 years in prison for what happened, because this crime was based on skin color and race.
Everybody is concerned about us, and I thank you very much for them. We cannot do this without them.
Now think about that for an extra second. A senior citizen speaking in his own language, in his own garage, and someone decides that's reason enough to beat him bloody. We're not talking about a quick push or a heated argument. This was a violent attack, one that easily could have killed this man. And the motive, from everything the family has said, it appears to be pure racial and a language-based hate. Now, I'm not Filipino, but for all my kababayans watching this in the Philippines, yes, this happened in America in 2025, and yes, things like this still do happen. And why am I bringing it up now? Because the court case happened recently and is now settled. And after all these years of legal proceedings, you'd expect a strong sentence. Am I right? I'm sure all of you guys out there are thinking the same. Well, the family says they were hoping for at least 4 years in prison. But the judge, Jennifer Suarez, ended up giving Christian Lent just 90 days in jail. That's 3 months, guys, because the defense claimed Lent was mentally ill and that this was a manic episode. Shouldn't that keep him off the streets for longer? I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments down below. Now, I'm not here to say whether someone is truly mentally ill or not. That's for doctors to decide. But as someone who lived almost a decade in the Philippines and has seen Filipinos get treated unfairly abroad, I can tell you it's hard not to see the double standard here. The family is asking the question, if we weren't Asian, would this sentence have been different? And honestly, a lot of people are thinking the same thing. Because in many cases, if the attacker had been Asian and the victim had been white, some people might assume that the justice system would react differently. And honestly, that's just not a statement. It's a wound. His wife, Lenita, was thankful for the opportunity and the community support, especially from a place called Bamboo Bridges, which is a nonprofit that helps the Asian American and Pacific Islander community. But she still couldn't call it justice. And Imando himself imagined this. Would I get the same 3 months if I did the same to him? I know that's the question that a lot of Filipinos abroad are asking themselves as they watch this video. If the roles were reversed, would the punishment be the same? Or is there an unspoken bias in this system? Now I want to tell you guys why Filipinos abroad need to hear this. So I want to speak directly to the Filipinos abroad, OFWs, and even the younger generation of Filipino Americans. I think this is a case and a reminder that racism and discrimination still exists, even in countries we think are progressive. You can have a good life in America, anywhere abroad. Yes, you can earn more money, more opportunities, much more than what you can find back in the Philippines. But you are never going to be immune from hate or racism. Some people will judge you just because you speak Tagalog. Some will look down on you just because your skin color. And when something happens, the justice system might not always be on your side. That's why I think community support is important. Groups like Bamboo Bridges exist because too often Asian victims feel isolated and powerless. They step in, help with legal support, and make sure these stories don't get swept under the rug. For those watching in the Philippines thinking, this doesn't affect me, trust me, it does. Because millions of your kababayans are working and living abroad, and their safety matters to all of us. But I want to talk about the elephant in the room, and that's the mental health defense. You see, the attacker in this case didn't get prison time because he was found mentally ill. And it's true that some people just don't have control over their actions in certain states of illnesses. But here's the problem. This defense can sometimes be used as a legal loophole. And when the victim is from a minority group, it can feel like the system is finding excuses instead of delivering justice. 3 months in jail for beating an elderly man, regardless of the mental state, sends a dangerous message. It tells people that if you hurt someone from a marginalized group, there might always be a minimized punishment. And that's a message that I can't accept. And you guys shouldn't accept either. The lessons and takeaways from this situation: always have a support network if you're living abroad. If you're living in the US, get connected with the local Filipino community and also organizations. They can sometimes act as your voice when the system feels silent. In addition to that, if you ever face discrimination or violence, report it, record it, and keep it alive. And keep the evidence. It can make all the difference in court. And I mean, if you're living in the US, you have to know your rights as a citizen, as a naturalized citizen, or a green card holder. No matter if you're in America or in the Philippines or anywhere else, learn the precautions and understand the local laws. And I mean, we gotta speak up. Silence will only benefit the attacker in this case. So tell your story, share your truth, and let others know what happened. And I think the most important thing is, don't let hate take away your joy, especially if you're trying to uplift yourself and your family in another country like the US. Even after this attack, Armando still sits in the same spot in the garage, still speaking Tagalog, still living his life, and I think that is resilience. That's part of the Filipino spirit from what I've learned here. So my friends, I'll end with this. 3 months in jail is not justice for what happened to Armando Candera. But this story is not over yet. The outrage, the conversations, and the awareness, it's all part of making sure it doesn't happen again. As always, guys, let me know in the comments down below. Do you think the sentencing was fair? Do you think race played a role in this? And for the Filipinos and all your kababayans abroad, have you ever experienced discrimination like this? This is Alex, reminding you, no matter where you are in the world, be proud to be who you are. If you're Filipino, African, Guatemalan, no matter what. Stay safe, aware, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.